All right, what's good, everybody? So I made a couple of videos like this. I don't like to talk about sports or use scripture to talk about just to do that type of thing or like celebrity stuff and all that. But I just think that some examples need to be used, all right, in a way to justify scripture and so forth. All right, but I try to do it in a way in which you can learn something. I don't know, it edifying. Okay, so edifying information. And I did a couple of videos about this with let's see here, Guinness, Willie McGinnis. Let's see here, one of the boxers, I think it was Charlo, that one of the guys that got in trouble in Dallas. Okay, got the fight and beat somebody up. Him and his entourage in the club. Okay, and I did a video actually about Draymond Green and that haymaker that he did. Okay, right now, I'm pretty sure he's been on the blotter for quite some time, but I think that as we leave this season, being that they're in the playoffs and the next season, he's going to become more and more profound. All right, the more he does stuff like what I'm about to tell you. The other night or last night, from the time of making this video, the 20th of April, Green has gotten suspended for one game. All right, they're going to play that game in Golden State. It's the third game of the series against Sacramento. All right, for kicking the Sabonis Jr. Okay, in the chest. All right, after Sabonis has grabbed his leg, so he's going to be missing for Game 3. And Golden State Warriors, the team that he plays on, that they're already down to 2-0. Now I'm gonna tell you a little something about that series or whatever, okay? Sacramento and Golden State. Golden State's been probably treating Sacramento like a bastard child probably for the last like 12 years, 13 years. And Sac hadn't made the playoff in 17 years. I think a lot of people out there in Sac are very, very excited about that. Okay, but they had their way with Sac for a very long time. This is Golden State. And now Sac, they're a pretty good team. I mean, those guys, I didn't know they were that good. What I think that happened was there was a couple of guys that come out from LA or from the Golden State Warriors. The coach right now, Mike Brown, which was coach under Steve Kerr. He was one of the assistants on Golden State coaches there. And Mike Brown is a good coach. You know what I'm saying? Then they tried to get some of those guys emulate Golden State Warriors. Got some guards and in the center and the way that they can run on the break and all that other stuff. Like they're running the Golden State Warriors. They ran them guys off the court. Okay, made Golden State look old. Although I believe that the Warriors are getting older, and I think Steve Kerr needs to play those young guys. Kuminga, man, that dude Kuminga could sky, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he could sky like Ja Morant. Him, and then there's a couple other young guys that they need to play. Jordan Poole, all right, that they're going to have to try to bring out, okay, if they want to keep a championship caliber team for the next 4 or 5 years. Now, because Green is getting older, okay, Green more than likely he is a top 10 defensive player. He will be an all-star. He's in, Curry's in, and Thompson, he's also in. Those guys are in. So late in that game, I don't know, they had like 4 to 6 minutes, all right, where Green did kick Sabonis, okay, when he grabbed his leg. Sabonis' father played in the NBA. I remember when Sabonis' father, I think his name was Arvadis, was Russian. Sabonis Jr., he went to Gonzaga. But I remember when they beat that team in '88, I was 17. And then if y'all remember, you guys are probably over 40. Sabonis was a guy that Shaq ended up catching that one-hand alley-oop from Kobe, all right, when they played in the playoffs against Portland, okay? Yeah. So, and then they came back, the Lakers came back on Portland and beat, but that was Sabonis, his father, okay? I remember a play where the Suns did, because it's all strategic. It worked out. The Suns did a play, this is about 2007. Those guys were good. They could beat every team that year except the Spurs. Those guys were running like 110, 120 points on teams. But if my memory serves me right, they played the Spurs. Spurs was a little bit better defensively than the Suns. Man, they had Nash. This is the Suns. They had Stoudemire and then I think Sean Marion. Marion played right here at UNLV, by the way. Anyway, it was game 7. I think the late in the game, Steve Nash was pushing the ball down court, right? Okay. The score, I think the score was tied. It was, or Phoenix was up by 1 point. You know, Popovich put Robert Horry in that game just to give Nash a hard foul. It was a moving screen, but he bumped him out of bounds, and the whole bench on the Suns come running out there and all that. And then the Suns end up getting a technical foul. Okay. They end up missing one free throw. The Spurs end up making 2 free throws, and then they end up getting the ball back, and then the Spurs end up winning and advance to the next level. Okay, because you see during the playoffs, they take away a lot of those accolades that you've acquired or you have enjoyed throughout the regular season. You understand? It was all strategic. Now, Sabonis was wrong. Green wasn't right, okay, wasn't wrong, okay. Some people say that he would have kicked him in the chest, but it wasn't the right way, especially Green being a 15-year man, okay, and being that they need Green for the playoffs and they were already down. There could have been other ways to do it. I probably, if I would have got grabbed, I would have probably played it off to where, I would have fell forward, but drove my knee right in his nose. Sabonis, that is. No, I'm just kidding. He probably could have flopped or pulled his leg out, okay, or flopped and just got the foul. He was going to get the foul anyway. This is Green, okay. But I've said, I made a scripture in Paul when I did those other podcasts and saying that athletes have to control themselves at all times. And now this is what's going to happen. That Green, they need him during game 3, which they're going to play tonight in San Francisco. And they have to win that game, okay? Because if they don't, then when I say the Warriors are going to be in a lot of trouble. All right? Like, I had to get like all, okay? But he needs to really, really catch a snap because, he's getting older and he's going to end up putting himself a bullseye on his chest moving forward. I'm thinking he'll end up playing another year in closing. I don't think that Steve Kerr is going to fire him, and he'll probably end up retiring and end up getting a job, commentating and all that. But, he's going to hinder his chances or whatever of getting a first ballot or going to another team. I don't think he's going to go to another team, it looks like to me. So let that be, sometimes you want to be strategic, okay? And not always fire back if you get fired upon, okay? Such in that manner, okay? Situation like that, all right? So it's not always an eye for an eye. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you for your time, and stay tuned for the next video. Let's see what happens.